doom, doom, doo, doo, doom, 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 doo, 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 doo. What the hell is going on? It's your boy Wild Card Mind in the building. Detroit Mail, the man with the Grandmaster plan for the I.O.W. Network in the building.
Oh, oh.
I.O.W. Sports. We here, episode 192. 192, 192. And it's a pleasure for us to be here. As always, please make sure to go on over to all your social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I.O.W. Sports Network is the address, especially on YouTube. Make sure you hit that up, like, share, hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you spread the word what we got going on with this I.O.W. Sports movement. And, just make sure you follow us because we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, a lot of content, a lot of material. Definitely make your way over to the Facebook page. That gives you a chance, the viewers, the watchers, the listeners, a chance to, go in and give your own take. And without us, it's there for you guys to, get the conversation started, get the water cooler talk started, and good debates going. Who agrees with you? Who disagrees with you? Rep your city, rep your team. That's the point of the Facebook. And you can also get some merch. Link is posted at the top of that Facebook page. And hey, if you can't find us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, you can always follow us on I.O.W. Sports One on Twitter. On the Twitter, no Twitter beefs, but you can always catch us on the Twitter I.O.W. Sports One. And hey, if you can't get the merch, you can at least get the snapback. You see this fine snapback on my cabeza, but in order to get the snapback, gotta hit the cash app. Gotta hit the cash app. $30. $ I.O.W. Sports Network. Give us a physical address, your name, all that good jazz, and in return, you will get the very exclusive I.O.W. Sports snapback. But again, you gotta hit the cash app. $30.
Cash app.
Gotta hit the cash app. Now that we got all the the plugs in the spiel out the way, man. How you feeling today, big bro? How you doing, man?
Man, tired as hell. Feel like somebody jumped on me and beat a nigga.
Yeah, I mean, you too old to be catching fades, so I hope that ain't the case.
That's how I feel, though. I took a L, something serious.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I'm tired as hell, man. But we gonna keep it together on this grind that we call I.O.W. Sports. So let's get down to it because
what up, though, Ant?
There's a lot to discuss. What's good, Ant? How you doing, Ant?
Hell, Anthony Davis still hanging out with Michael Thomas.
Bruh, it's funny he say that because, man, I had never seen somebody like Mike Thomas who literally has been missing 2 years, finally comes back and then only plays one game and then go missing again. I I don't know what's going on with that situation. I don't know if it's his body. I don't know if it's he don't want to be there and they healthy scratching him. I don't know. But I never.
That doesn't make no sense.
But it's crazy because when he played, he actually looked like he was back to being Mike.
Right.
And that's the crazy part. I thought he was back to being Mike. But we'll definitely get into some NFL talk. We'll preview some of the games this week, and definitely will preview tonight's game. Between the Eagles and the Texans, it won't take us long to preview that. I think we know.
Not long at all.
Yeah, I think we got an idea what the hell is about to happen tonight. But
you can take an L. So.
Yeah, just take the L. Just take the L. Matter of fact, save us the time. Save us the don't even have us subscribe to Amazon Prime if you ain't already got the subscription to see that ass whooping. So
right.
just go ahead and save us. Go ahead. But look, we'll get into some NFL talk for sure. But I want to start right here because I don't know exactly the tweet that Kyrie Irving had put out. But a lot of people are calling it anti-Semitic. And, here's my thing. Kyrie just doesn't come off as that guy to say anything, I guess, anti-Semitic. And maybe I might be judging a book by its cover. Maybe he's just a, type of guy that says off the wall shit. Well, we know that, but
right. We're gonna rephrase that one.
Yeah, Yeah, but here's my thing with Kyrie, and this is what was starting to irritate me with how the media treats him, in specifically, in particular.
Hmm.
A guy that's, you know, he's he's a free flowing thinker.
Right.
He's not the type of person that's going to, cave in into what's quote unquote what's the norm.
Hmm.
And the media's been going in on Kyrie, and I'm just like, yo, he's a human being just like us that has opinions, has thoughts. That he's a thinker, man. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
he's been that way since he's gotten to the league. He's never been the type to conform, and I, a lot of people are starting to call him a what's that? A culture cancer in the locker room, and I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. Can he be difficult? Of course. There's a lot of difficult people out here, but you can't call them a cancer in a uh, culture cancer and all that shit with really no true evidence to back it up. The
Right.
vaccination situation, I didn't have no issue with that. My man, he stood his ground and he felt some type of way about it. What's the problem? You know?
'Cause he ain't do what they want him to do. That's the problem.
And boy, that's what it is. I think especially in these billion-dollar industries such as the NFL and NBA and Major League Baseball, is sometimes it's like they want these players to conform to what they think their athletes should do, and
Right.
and,
Right.
and, and the idea. And sometimes I'm like, bro, like get off that soapbox. Like they're individuals. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, just because a camera is filming your job, your occupation, because let's call it what it is. It's occupation.
Yes, they job.
It's their job. But just because their occupation is getting filmed and able to be viewed across the world, don't make them less human.
Right. Right.
Don't make them less, of a person. That they should still be allowed to have thoughts, views, and own opinions. I just don't get this
Yeah.
whole bashing of Kyrie.
I don't know. I ain't have a problem. I think he had posted something about that movie from Hebrews to Negroes. I think
Yeah.
that's what he had posted that, and they had they had took exception with it. What up, Matt?
Hmm.
And here's my thing. No, we can't say too much about that because I don't want Chase Bank to tell me come get my $20 off the bank. But you know what I'm saying?
And they gonna come get it too.
That, come get your $20 off the bank. You know they told see they did with Kanye, told him his
Hmm.
money. Well, I ain't got as much as he got. I just got $20. And then come get your 20 out this bank. So I ain't gonna say go too deep into it.
Yeah, I don't want you to
But
over withdraw, bro.
you know what I'm saying? But here's my thing, man. Even when you take exception with what, because I seen like the documentary on it. I haven't
Mhm.
read the book, but I seen the documentary on it. And my thing is, you can disagree with what was said in there, but but just because you disagree, it doesn't make it anti-Semitic. That's also nothing about hate.
Mhm.
You can have a different opinion about what they said. No, but it doesn't really say anything about hate. It just has a different opinion of who they think Jews are. That's
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? But because you use a certain word or you say certain things, oh, it's anti-Semitic. But why don't they say that when you talk about Arabs? Arabs are Semitic people. Why don't they say that we
Yeah.
talk about certain Ethiopians? They Semitic people. Certain people in Northern Africa, Semitic people.
Yeah.
I mean, Jews not the only Semitic people,
Yeah.
but they only apply that term when you talk about Jews.
Why don't they apply it to black folks? Don't they know that the original Hebrews, they look like us?
Well, that's what the movie talks about. You know what I'm saying? And so they upset about that. But my thing is, there's more than one type. There's more than one type of Semitic people,
Yeah, it's more than more. It's many sectors of it.
right? And so my thing is like, but they only use that term for the one particular people, and they say it's hate if you say something wrong. But my thing is, whether you not agree with, whether you, because I don't want to go down that road about that, but whether you
Yeah.
disagree with that opinion or not, it doesn't mean that it's hate. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you disagree with Christianity. That mean I hate Christianity. You disagree with Islam. That mean I hate Islam. I just might
Yeah.
not agree with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you can go down the line. And the things I
Oh,
disagree with, it doesn't mean that I hate it. I just don't agree with it.
yeah. So I don't know, man. But regardless of how you feel on the Kyrie situation, it's just another piece that's given to the media to paint Kyrie in such a negative light, and
Right.
and I'm starting to get irritated with it because it's like, bro, it's okay if he has a difference of opinion about certain things in the world. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It doesn't make you a terrible or horrible person or anti-Semitic. No. He has an opinion just like everybody else, and it makes no. And I don't know. It's just it's sometimes people put too much stock into what pro athletes say sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, even if they got a point and even if they're right, it's just like any other opinion. What's the old saying? Opinions are like assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got
Everybody
one.
got one. Right.
Everybody got one. It ain't no difference. He got a Twitter account just like all the billions of people around the world got one too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's free to post on his Twitter account as much as he wants to. And that's up to Twitter to filter his
But even
comments
with
and
the
stuff.
one exchange he had, my thing was like, the guy asked him about it, and he was just kind of like, I
Yeah.
posted something. I don't agree with the person who actually did the original post. You know, I was just posting something I thought was interesting.
Hmm.
So the guy kept, why are you promoting? I said, well,
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
not
that.
promoting anything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
I
my
had
thing
an
was like,
opinion. Yeah.
why you keep digging at it, man? He gave you he tell you what he had to say. He said he was against it. Move on.
And you saw that he was visibly getting upset because he's like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk basketball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to talk basketball.
Right, right.
He said, I answered your question, and just because you didn't like the answer that I gave you, you can't keep trying to come at me to keep fishing and digging for shit that and get the answer that you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I saw that video the other day. I'm like, yo, we get this is what I this is why I love what we do is
Mm.
because it's for one, you already know we gonna keep it real and authentic like it's
Right.
barbershop talk. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna talk like we in the shop, everybody getting cuts and we acting
Right.
a fool. That's
Right.
that's
Right.
that's the purpose of this show. We ain't trying to move the needle and be no martyrs or
Mm-hmm.
freedom fighters. We ain't trying to do all that. We got another
Mm-mm.
podcast for all that.
Right. Right. Right.
We talking sports.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when it comes to Kyrie, I hate that he gets such a villainy like view because he's
Mm.
open and honest about his own opinions.
So
I
they
just
want you
really,
controlled, man. They want you controlled. That's all it is. They want you
they want you
controlled.
they want you to shut up and dribble, right? Ain't that
Mm-hmm.
what they
That's it.
said?
That's what Laura Ingram said.
Shut up and dribble, LeBron. I ain't gonna cap, LeBron. I respect what he does after court, but sometimes I wish he would just shut up. You
And you
ain't
should
got to
tell
be
him,
on everything.
should tell him shut up and win.
So Tuesday, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of spoke about it on the late night show, but out of nowhere, Steve Nash and the Brooklyn Nets mutually agreed to part ways. What was your first initial thoughts on that situation, big bro?
I was like, about time.
Mm.
But for real, I mean, it's like you can't. I guess we kind of said something about this. I can't remember what show we was talking about, but if they keep losing, Steve Nash gonna have to go.
Mm.
And we had brought that up, and so my thing was like they saw what moving in the right direction, and he had to go because the pressure was on before the season to get rid of him.
Mm.
They decided to stay with him for the beginning of the season, and then they still wasn't winning. And then just to what Steve Nash said and what everybody else said, and you read between the lines. I think it was kind of where a mutual agreement because I
Mm.
think Steve Nash felt like he can't do nothing with him. It's like my hands are tied. What I can do, the power I have, and then at the same time, they probably was like, we don't want to listen to him anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think it kind of was a mutual agreement. It might have been more on one side than the other, but I think, to some extent, it was a mutual agreement because you know they wasn't on paper. This team should be dominating. It's very few teams that should be able to compete with them.
Yeah.
In the NBA, and they wasn't doing it. You know,
Yeah.
so something has to give. And when it comes to losing, especially losing and not living up to your potential, first thing happened, they start pointing fingers. The fingers usually always go to the head coach first.
Always.
Then it trickles on down. Then that
Down
don't
to the
work.
superstars.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It goes to the superstar. Sometimes it goes to the GM. But it always usually starts with the head coach first. So, he had to get the axe. Now they continue to lose. Then it'd be interesting to see what they do next. They get rid of the GM or they start trading people.
Now let me ask you this:
hmm
Was Steve Nash a scapegoat?
To a degree, yeah, because I don't think it's all Steve Nash.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's all Steve Nash. And I mean, here's the thing: you can have all the talent in the world, have all the talented people on one team, and the chemistry just might not come together. Just might not be able to play together. Or what I'm saying. So you might have to move some pieces around just to get it to work. And I can't tell you who. I won't say is all. I can't say okay, move KD and it would be better, or move Kyrie would be better, or get rid of maybe Ben Simmons. Well, Ben Simmons ain't doing shit anyway, but you know, well, I'm just saying, what I'm saying, maybe move like that's a better word, lesser degree of superstar, and it may be better, or add this piece. We don't know, but that's what the beauty about this sport is that look at the Pistons, man. Most of the Pistons teams that won didn't have no real superstars. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to the bad boy days, really, the real only superstar really was Isaiah, and I guess to a degree you can say Dumars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that was outside of that, and that's no knocking against Sally and Rodman, all them, Lambeer, Vinnie Johnson, and when they had Aguirre and they had, what I'm saying, they weren't superstars, but they're the right pieces for that team. If you go to the 2000 or the 2004 2003 team, Chauncey Billups, Whip Hamilton, Rashid was, I guess, was probably a bigger superstar than all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ben Wallace. Who, you know what I'm saying? So they did it, but they did it because that chemistry worked. Those pieces worked. And I think, sometimes you have superstars on teams that just don't work together.
To answer your question, Ant, I think that was Sean Marks, the GM, that made that decision. Because once Harden won it out, and he had a certain destination in place, which was only Philly. So you gotta take what pretty much Philly is willing to come off of. So you saw that they got. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say, let's keep it 100, man. Let's keep it a buck. If you're looking at Ben Simmons in Philly, right? Outside of his Atlanta series, he would look like a good piece for your team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he has some deficiency. Yeah, we can say that. But I'm saying, but outside the Atlanta game, he looked like a good piece for your team. No one thought he would come into Brooklyn and look like he does now.
Boy, he looked terrible.
You know what I'm saying? No one. So I won't fault whoever picked him. I won't make that as a bad decision. It's on paper, it looked good. You know what I'm saying? You have mental breakdown one series. Okay, we can probably fix that. You know what I'm saying? Coaching, whatever. We can probably work around that. Plus, we're not depending on him the same way in Philly as we will over here in Brooklyn.
Not at all. And I think at the same time, we got to realize there's only 8 games in the season. They got 82 games total.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if Ben Simmons is still looking like this in December, then I say let's panic and freak the hell out. But I mean, when you're 8 games, and we got to remember the kid hasn't played in pretty much almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
He didn't play all of last year.
Right.
And the last time we saw him, of course, like you mentioned, the Atlanta series a couple of years ago, and when he refused to dunk on a little ass Trae Young. But obviously, I think it's well documented. I think there's a lot of probably a lot of mental strength he still has to gain from being in a situation where he felt it was mentally unstable.
Yeah.
So and people look, we got to realize when it comes to mental health, wellness, and health, that's not something that's an overnight situation. That's
Mm-hmm.
not something that's uh, you know primarily taken care of at a rapid pace.
Right. Right. Right.
You know, when it comes to the mental part of the sports side, which I think a lot of people take for granted
Mm-hmm.
because they think of just the physical attributes that you need to play a sport. But no, boy, it's an old saying. It said, especially in the game of football, it's literally 20% physical, but it's 80% mental.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "Oh, why is it more mental?" Because it's a chess match. Same with
Yeah.
basketball. Same with baseball. Same with hockey. It's a chess match. It's not checkers. You got to find a way to find the mismatch and the matchups that favor for you.
Right.
And that's not something that's just easily done. You got to work at that,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to find you got to do certain things to expose those matchups and things like that. So that's why I think a lot of people forget the mental part of sports.
Right.
It's just as important as the physical, if not more. I mean, we reference even in our other podcasts. I often wonder. We reference how when the Willie Lynch book, how to
Mm-hmm.
create a slave. You would pick out the most dominant ones, and you would do certain things to jack them up mentally. That you got them by the mind that the body will follow. So you know,
How can we get help?
well. To be fair, and on the outside looking in, it looks like he did nothing. We obviously, being on the outside, don't know what he did. Did he go see a therapist? There's a such thing as sports therapy that some of these athletes go to. We don't know what he did, you know, but
We
in
don't know
this,
how deep it goes either.
yeah, we don't know how deep it goes. But at some point, yo, what are you doing on the court right now is like, did you really take care of your mental situation or not?
Yeah, man. It's like anything, man. It's like when you playing, just take just one particular game,
Yeah.
and you come in and you start missing shots. So every time you come down, you overcompensating for what you might have done. So like so for instance, you shoot an air ball, you might overcompensate, then you shoot it too hard, and
Mm-hmm.
then so like a lot of times they try to get you involved and maybe get an easy layup and stuff like that to kind of get your confidence back. If you never get that confidence back, you probably be missing the whole game because your mental capacity is not there.
Yeah.
And I think that's you got to look at that from that's that smallest thing I was just saying, and look at it from a macro perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know how many small things that happen to create this big monster that he has now.
Yeah.
And we don't know outside of the court what he deal with to create this monster that he's dealing with now. So all those
Mm-hmm.
things can come together. And he may be getting help or may have talked to someone, but it may be, you looking at a mountain and you trying to chisel that mountain down. So we
Yeah.
don't know how much of a mountain that is he's trying to chisel down. So we don't know. So
And
when it comes to mental health, I just kind of just I kind of just, you know, I kind of take a back seat and kind of let that person who's saying they have mental health
let it play
lead,
out. Yeah.
let it play out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What Matt say?
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. Matt said mental health takes a toll more than people know if they never dealt with it.
Correct.
Yeah. 100% agree. And that's just so we already talked about Kyrie. We're talking about Ben. Obviously, you got to mention KD. KD, I know he's putting up the points. Uh, you know, you're not absolved of being part of the days of our lives drama that you were part of. When you got what 4 years, almost 200 million left on your contract, and you talking about you want to get traded, and you're making
Right,
demands,
Matt.
it's either Mash and Marks or it's me. So that
Hmm.
you said that, and just like we said, y'all going into the season, y'all so called kumbaya and hug this shit out, and nah. When you give ultimatums, man, it's straight up.
Yeah,
It,
it's in the back of your head.
it's
You thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? some things once they come out your mouth and you say it,
It's out.
it's out, and
It's out.
you know what I'm saying, you can't take it back, and it's already been said. So that person that got received it is
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, they might say, "Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever, keep it moving." They're still thinking about it.
Once it comes out your mouth and go into somebody's ears, it's done.
Hmm.
It's done. I don't
That's
I don't I don't care about all the sorries and the apologies and the my bads. Is yo, it came out of your mouth. It's
mm,
in my it came in my ears. It's in my head now. But I'm setting this up because I want people to understand. And look, I'm not trying to excuse anything or make excuses for Steve Nash, but we got to be 100 about this situation. That's what we do here. Look,
mm,
so overall, while he was at Brooklyn for the 2.5 seasons, 94 and 67, you know, 584 winning percentage.
mm.
You know, it's good. Could be better, of course. Okay, playoffs didn't do so hot, 7-9. You know, you get swept one year and then you don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals one year.
Playoffs.
Playoffs, talking about playoffs. So I'm saying all of that. We talk about talking about his record as a coach, talking about the KD situation and the beefs, Kyrie and the vaccination and his personal time, and then now the anti-Semitic quote unquote
Hmm.
talk on his Twitter. Ben Simmons struggling, and let's not forget you didn't start with James Harden, but you make the trade to get him, and then you trade him about a year later. So you're dealing with that. All I'm saying, it's a lot of pieces that I think that played into Brooklyn not having the success that people thought they would, just
Right,
based off
right.
the roster. And we also got to throw in the injuries. It wasn't a lot of games that you had KD, Kyrie, and Harden on the floor together. It wasn't a lot of
Hmm.
games where you had, Kyrie and KD on the floor together. And so you not getting the lineup that you thought you were supposed to have. Steve Nash rarely had the lineup that he thought he was going to have. If everything was in a perfect world, it's PT right now. James Harden is still on this team. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they are all healthy and literally then you can get to see what exactly can Steve Nash do. And Katie even talked about it. Steve Nash's basketball IQ is up there. It's nice,
Hmm.
but I just think it's a lot of factors that played into the fact that they didn't have success. It's been a lot of noise in Brooklyn.
Hmm.
It's been noisy.
A couple things. Speak. I don't speak to comments first. I hear you, Matt. What you said. You know what I'm saying, because same way. I dealt with a lot of things too, and still deal with a lot of things. So I understand from that perspective, and I think, you know, um,
Hey, no, my bad. Not to
go
cut
ahead,
you
go
off,
ahead, go ahead.
but I think and really to speak to what Matt's saying, I
Mm-hmm.
think as men, and we
I was about
talked
to say that, but go ahead.
and we talked about this on our other podcast. As men, I just think we naturally deal with a lot of pressures, and we've always been taught, what's that? Suck it
Mm-hmm.
up, rub some
Yep.
dirt on it, be
Mm-hmm.
tough, be a
Right.
man, and
Right.
that machismo, that warrior in us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you fight, you keep fighting to get out of
Mm-hmm.
your own head, but
Right.
not knowing that you're doing more damage just because you're not dealing with it.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
I'm obviously I can speak for myself. When I get in my depressed states and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that, I shut down. I don't talk.
Right. Right.
I don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I get older, I'm like, I can't do that because I need to have the people that are dependent on me be able to communicate with me and we can, live our happy lives. And
Right.
I think just naturally as men, we deal with mental stabilities because it's so much pressure that is put on us, but we don't really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And
That's why. That's
Hey,
why.
hey, Friday I got paid, man. I was outside smoking a cigarette and I paid a couple of bills. And then I looked at my bank account again, and then I was like, man, I just got this
Right, I just got
motherfucking
this
money,
money.
man. I just got this money, man.
For real.
Boy,
Well, yeah,
I cried.
you make valid points, and I mean, you and I always talk about when we just kicking. We talk about on other show.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's why I kind of wanted to address that. Uh, um, then I think Ant said the kicker was the Nash in that playoff game. I think that was part of it too. I think that's part of it too because you had high expectations for this team.
Yeah.
But I will say this too, and I'm gonna kind of tie in what something you had said and with Ant's point. My biggest thing with Nash is that he didn't make those adjustments.
Boom.
You know
There
what I'm
it is.
saying? And that because look at okay, let's take Peyton Manning. We
Mhm.
all agree Peyton Manning has a high football IQ.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You watch him on Monday Night Football, he breaking stuff down, brilliant. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Tom Brady won more football games, but I think Peyton Manning is a better quarterback in all aspects of that.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't mean that it translate into coaching.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Same thing with Steve Nash. He may have a great basketball IQ. It doesn't mean it translates into coaching.
You're
You
not
know,
wrong.
you know what I'm saying? Not making adjustments. Making adjustments part of coaching. It's
Yeah.
not just like knowing about the game, knowing about matchups and line. You gotta know when to make adjustments too. And if you don't do that part of the game, then you're not doing the full part of your coaching job. So that's part of it.
And that's why I think I'm glad you said that because you got to throw in uh, the caveat of Steve Nash's performance on his
Mhm.
own as a coach because there
Right.
were times where it's like, bro, you got to make that adjustment. Like, bro, uh, are you not going to use your bench?
What's up, Bona?
You got a bench. Like,
Right.
uh, you just can't have KD in a one-legged heart and playing 40 plus minutes in a basketball series. Like, come on, bro. Hey, you don't have Kyrie, so this is all you got, and a whole bunch of other players. You got a one-legged Harden and KD. And had his shoe been a little bit shorter, he might have won that series possibly. We don't know, but the fact of the matter
Right.
is, there were some flaws in Steve Nash's coaching theory. There were flaws in his coaching game, and so we can't excuse that. But I just wanted to point out that before everybody just be like, "Oh, well, Steve Nash will never be a good coach." We don't know that. He
Yeah.
never got the chance to have the full roster that he was expecting to have. And I saw Bones comment because once he got fired that night, there was no excuse on why they played like trash. Even Kyrie, that man scored 4 points, four
Mm-hmm.
points. And now he's still
What's up,
dealing,
Ryan?
and now he's still dealing with the tweet drama still. So it's like, again, it's another distraction. It's like this whole Brooklyn Nets the last 2.5 years have been nothing but a damn soap opera. Like I've never seen nothing like it. I've never seen nothing like
Nothing like it, bro. What's
it.
up, Ryan in the house? We ain't seen Ryan in a long time.
Hey, re-hit your bell notification. Make sure you hit it. Phil
He
Jackson
said,
couldn't have coach. Where are the coach? Oh my goodness. I mean, but we got to speak on that as well. That they got quoted for saying Kyrie. Oh, there's gonna be days KD might be the coach. I might be the coach. You know, so
yeah,
so
that don't work, man.
like
That don't
that
work.
that
House
that's at
divided
that's at
cannot
the
stand.
beginning. That's at the beginning, bro.
Right.
That quote was at the beginning when all this stuff got put together for Brooklyn. Like, my goodness. And so let me ask you this: do you think he ever had a shot?
He came in with a lot of problems, man. And I think having a inexperienced coach in that situation
A
is tough.
rookie,
It's tough. You know what I'm
and,
saying?
but he's
He
never
probably would have
coached.
been, yeah, he never coached. So I think that's tough, man. So
No,
I think you need a veteran coach to come in somewhere like that to kind of work with that group.
yeah,
They used to dealing with it. He's still fresh out of playing, so to speak. You know what I mean?
yeah. He's still trying to
So
figure out how to even be a coach.
like he's not that far removed, not far removed from their age,
No, but he's not far removed from their age. But
and he
he.
played.
But I'm saying, but that's all he knows. He only knows NBA from the player perspective.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like he's a rookie head coach. He's never coached in the NBA before. He's never coached in college or high school. He's never coached, and just for them to just assume that he would translate to a good coach, you know, is to me it was astronomical things to ask from Steve Nash. Boney, you wild, bro. You wild, bro. But you got a point though. Because I don't think there's a lot of people that would have put up with that mess.
Well, I'm not saying. I guess my bigger point is that a veteran coach had a better chance than a rookie. Let me say
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We never would know what happened because we dealing with what ifs. But it was wrecked from the beginning.
Yeah.
When you coming in talking we all gonna be the coaches, and then you already coming in with them having a lot of control, it already starts off with where's the hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it got to be some head somewhere, some structure somewhere. I understand there's gonna be egos with superstars stuff like that, but at the same time, once you earn a player's respect, they're gonna listen to you. But when you come in, they're already not even kind of got. It seems like they don't have respect for you. You fight an uphill battle, and as a rookie, that's tough. As a veteran, you might have a chance to kind of dealing with it because you have a track record to stand on. You know what I'm saying? You can stand on your track record, you stand on what you've done, but you don't have nothing to stand on. But
nothing.
You know what I'm saying? It's really harder to get that respect. I ain't saying it can't happen, but it's harder.
Absolutely nothing. I mean,
and you right, Ryan.
Like it's at a point where coaching superstars is one thing, and then still trying to figure out your coaching style and how you're going to run your team is like it's a lot at once.
Right.
So I just think he it was going to be a tall order for him to succeed. Just to deal with all he dealt with, just the injuries alone. Injuries alone was a lot to deal with because it doesn't give you your full set of weapons that you thought you were going to have. Just point blank, period. Yeah, I mean, it's just does it?
Here's the thing, though. I mean, cut you off. My bad, boy.
No, go ahead.
I'm thinking about what Ant said. And we kind of talked about it earlier. Some of this drama you talking about with Kyrie, it's the media's fault. The media is overplaying it. You want to talk about the vaccination? I don't have a problem with that because I'm always going to back somebody who's standing 10 toes down.
Mm-hmm.
He took a stand. He stuck on it. He stood on it
and didn't waver.
Didn't waver. Hey, I got respect for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't for the fact my job made me get it. I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to get that mess.
Yeah, but you saw the bigger picture. You was like, yo, I got bills. They need to get paid.
Right.
And I ain't got time to be looking for jobs all goddamn day.
So like in that standpoint, now you talk about the last incident, the most recent incident. To me, that's still more the media overplaying it because he said he tweeted what he tweeted. He tweeted it. He didn't even say anything in a tweet. He tweeted a caption. They asked him about it. He explained it, and they kept rolling with it.
And it wasn't enough.
It was like, well, what about this? What about this? That's all I'm saying. Then what about this? That's all I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. They kept on rolling with it.
And to take it a step further, I'm a little irritated that Adam Silver comes out and says, I was disappointed that Kyrie hasn't given a legit apology for it.
Yeah, but what is Adam Silver is what?
A commissioner.
No. He is Jewish. So
I see where you going now.
I'm just saying. So he wants you to say something because he feel like it's anti-Semitic.
No, I see where you're going, pimp.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I see what you putting down, partner.
So
I'm picking it up.
of course he gonna press you to say something because it's like, oh, hey, man, you anti-Semitic.
Hey,
But my
hey, but
thing, he explained his situation, and I
yeah.
hate to keep beating the dead horse, but it's like because the media is making it worse. He explained the situation. He explained. He said, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate this or that. About he went through all those things. They kept saying, oh, we need to apologize. Apologize for what? That to me, now you going back to your Willie Lynch. Now you trying to butt break him.
Hey, on some real shit. I don't think he should apologize.
Stand 10
And
toes
and,
down.
and if somebody doesn't disagree, if somebody disagrees with me, by all means, you can disagree. But all I'm saying is just like you said, man. The man explained it. He never said anything that was, you know, just the caption. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? Just because it's Kyrie, who's already been part of your little drama story anyway, that you guys love to keep beating like a dead horse, you know, because it's him. It's like it's low hanging fruit, you know, and boy,
Said he's not anti-Semitic because he knows where he's from.
yeah.
Oh, so he's from Jersey. But I mean, but he did make that point. He said, I grew up around
everybody,
which is it's one of those it's kind of things like I understood what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that could be misconstrued as somebody saying, I can't be racist. I got a black friend. Or my neighbor's black. I can't be racist. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like one of those things he can misconstrue that. I understood what he was saying. Don't get me wrong. But people can misconstrue it as that too.
Oh, they
you know how
could.
people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know how people do. But I mean, it's just like, he's always been this way. And so maybe
that's who he is, man.
Maybe that's the reason he's been on a few different teams. But the point is like he's going to be consistently him, and just because of who he is and what he do, you understand what he is. You have to be willing to understand that. All right, I know how Kyrie operates, but I know on the basketball court, that's where he's gonna shine for sure. I just hate that the media keeps poking at him. Like, leave this man alone. What they do? Or why do y'all need a whipping boy?
Because drama sells.
I know it sells, but why does it always have to be him?
Easy target. It's like Kanye is an easy target. Some people are easy targets, man.
Yeah.
When Dennis Rodman played, he was an easy target. He gonna give you some kind of sound bite or something.
Some kind of headline.
So you already know, like people like that, you poke at them, you're an easy target. Kyrie,
but I think with Kyrie, he's literally just living his life as a human being.
Right, Ryan.
With own thoughts and opinions. You know what I'm saying? And just because his doesn't line up with the majority of people,
you're not gonna agree with everything. I don't agree with everything he says.
Oh, I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
I respect the man.
I respect the man. I respect anybody standing 10 toes down. I just do. I just me. You know what I'm saying?
He's never been shy of explaining his thought process. Never been shy of it.
I mean, sometimes a little crazy, like the world being flat. I can't get with that one, bro. But you know what I'm saying?
But hey, you do know there's pictures, right?
Right. But you stand on that, you know what I'm saying? I give you a respect. You know what I'm saying? But I can't agree with it.
I feel you, Ryan. I think he is a classic scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can rock with you on that.
Right.
But I'm not going to absolve him just because hey, I respect the man that's 10 toes down. But I can see that he can be difficult to deal with. I can see that as well. Just to play devil's advocate, I can see he can be a tad bit difficult to deal with. But that's what you're gonna have to mentally
what solves all this? You know what solves all this?
Winning.
There you go. Jordan was difficult, but you know why? People ain't around him because he won.
Winning cures it all.
Winning would shut all this up, shut it all down.
Telling you, boy, you hit it right on the head.
I'm not loving either. I don't mean. Okay, let me ask you this though, Ryan. And I don't know if you're talking about the recent incident, or you just talk about in general? First, let me ask you that. If you're talking about his recent incident, or you talking about Kyrie in general, not involving him?
I'm speaking more of just
Well,
Kyrie
I
in
was talking to
general.
Ryan. I was talking to
No,
Ryan.
okay, but I'm just saying
Yeah. Okay.
I've been referencing the Kyrie as in general.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
A very talented basketball player, but you know that there's difficult people in the world. It just is,
Yeah. It is. It's how
and you just gotta find a way that you can be in accordance of each other without stepping on each other's toes. That's all you got to do.
yeah, make it work. You ain't gotta like each other to win.
Yeah,
You
if
know,
you win, if you
it's
win,
like at
you
work.
win
You
anything.
at work. You ain't like your coworkers. Like we gotta come here and do our job, keep moving.
Gotta get the food out.
Right, gotta get the food out. He's a trip, but I respect. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
But as much as in to switch gears in the basketball world,
Mm-hmm.
I obviously the Lakers are still struggling, and but the 2 game winning streak, you know,
Mm-hmm. They're having about to have a parade now.
but as much as I harp on Russell Westbrook, and hey, we always get credit when credit is due. When he came off the bench in the game the other night, he gave him a spark. Even Darvin Ham had
You're right.
he noticed it. You know,
You're right, Ryan. Right, right.
he noticed it and gave props in his post game interview, and as a not a fan favorite of Russell Westbrook, I'll give the man his props. That might be the situation. Look, they've been talking about it, talking about trade for Westbrook for almost 6 months. Either do it or don't. But in the meantime, him coming off the bench, I think we've all been trying to get you. We tried to get Vogel to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Darvin Ham is finally, 7 games in, and be like, all right, that might be the spark that come off the bench. Okay, cool. Rock with it. See where it goes. Because right now the goal is to get in the play-in tournament. Because y'all motherfuckers missed that last year, so that's the goal this year.
Right.
Obviously, is win a championship, but no. Let's start baby steps.
Let's start with that first.
Let's start with the play-in tournament. Maybe you eclipse play-in tournament status and you get into the actual playoffs as like a 6 or 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with baby steps though.
Right. I agree, bro.
Start with the baby steps. But they still got to make transactions, though. They need some shooters, man.
They need some shooters, bad. For real, I mean that's their biggest thing, man. They need some shooters.
It's terrible. I think that trade of Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland, I think that's working out real nice.
It looks so far, but I think about like this last year, Cleveland was looking pretty good anyway in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's not like they didn't already have a decent team prior to him. So yeah, he makes the team an upgrade. It's just let's see how it works in the long run. Would it be the same thing? They fall off toward the end. It's a long season. I think like I said, I think he's an upgrade to that team. But he could just be the same thing we did in Utah. They have a nice little stretch, and then playoffs come and it fizzle out.
I mean, it's working out so far, like you said.
But I think they have a better cast supporting. I think he has a better supporting cast in Cleveland than he did in Utah.
I mean, he had a squad in Utah though.
He have a nice squad. He's young. We have a nice squad in Cleveland.
He has some shooters too.
Yeah, we can't count Rudy.
Okay, first of all, and when I say shooting, I would.
Well, we were referring to him.
I would never have Rudy Gobert in that thought process. But you're right. Jared Allen, who I like, who still to this day, I think when Brooklyn traded for Harden, they shouldn't have gave up him.
Right.
He's a great rim protector and a great rebounder. So you got him in the center. You still got Darius Garland, who's your other point guard. Um, of course, Donovan Mitchell. You got Karis LeVert,
Bird.
who's a nice little shooting guard as well. So I like some of the pieces that they got on there. You got Robin Lopez to help. He's a 7-footer to help in the paint. So,
Right.
And
Lopez
rebound.
we forget about.
Yeah, the other Lopez. Yeah, but hey, he's a big body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice little roster that they got, and um, I just want to see what they do with Philly, what they do with
Harden's out for a month. I didn't know that.
yeah. Harden's out for a month, and Philly's got to deal with that, obviously. But I think what they got on the roster that they had before they even traded for Harden is still good enough to maintain the ship anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see what they do with the Phillies, what they do with the Bucks, what they do with Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Miami's a little slow and steady right now, kind of stumbling out the blocks a little bit. But Miami's trust me, Eric Spoelstra is too good of a coach. Jimmy Butler is too much of a competitor, and Miami's going to get going. Just wait on it. Trust me, it happens every year. They always start slow.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a minute. They'll be in the playoffs. They'll be one of the last few teams in the East. No worries. I'm not worried about them. So. And then I'm waiting for Chicago to get healthy. Lonzo Ball still not 100%.
Right.
So, and I'm looking for Chicago. I'm looking for Chicago and Cleveland. Take that next step. Take that next step. Atlanta's trying to get back to what they were in the East Conference Finals a couple of years ago. I think those three teams take that next step.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching those three teams pretty much for the rest of the season. My bad. Atlanta, Chicago, and Cleveland.
Right.
Because I like what they're doing right now, especially Cleveland. But I want to see what y'all do with the big dogs in the East. And then when y'all play the top teams in the West, how the games shake out.
Maybe, right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How's the game gonna shake out? Are y'all getting blown out? Or y'all staying competitive? Or y'all winning? So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I like that trade for Javante Murray too. That was a good trade.
That was a good trade.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like you said, they gotta take the next. Oh, we talked about Brooklyn. Forgot to talk about Brooklyn got a new coach.
Oh boy.
He came in that mud with a list. All right, I'm a fucking her.
He was already scoping.
He's already scoping. Hey, he's probably talking to the GM. Hey, what's your wife look like?
What's her waist size?
What's her waist? Hey, send some pictures.
What's her cup size?
All right.
Look at you in the booty. Look at you in the monkey. Yeah, he made about to act a fool in Brooklyn, boy. He got that
for real,
fool, boy.
Don't date the employees.
Bro, how wild is that this man?
But no, how wild is it that as soon as they fire my man, they hire my man. As soon as they fire Nash, they hire my man. It wasn't like a day late. It was the same day.
Well, I mean, I think it's the familiarity. Obviously, he came from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he don't get anything in New York, Matt.
Oh. But I mean, and then you add on to the fact that I'm looking at Boston at the same time. It's like, all right, so if y'all suspend them away from the team for the whole year, and you really have been uncertain about bringing them back, then
I guess they made their mind.
You kind of let that door open, though.
They knew they weren't bringing them back. That's why that's why he let them go.
See, but here's my thing. In order for that to happen, they had to get permission from Boston to do that.
You're saying. So Boston probably already made their mind they was gonna fire him at the end of the year. So they probably was like, well, we're gonna fire him anyway. Go ahead and take him.
Boy, that's crazy.
I'm surprised. I'm admit I'm surprised. I thought people was gonna like, you know, since he had the little incident, like wait till it die down. So
Mm-hmm. They
it
said
was
they
like,
have that. You know, they had to get the permission
right,
to do
man.
that. Like so to your point, yo, that they weren't bringing him back. They
Yeah, they
weren't
want to
going to
bring
bring
it
him
back.
back.
Mm-mm.
I think he had to get one like a higher up guy's wife
Oh
or
yeah,
girlfriend. He had to, because
they
for
were
you to get
pissed.
suspended for that long, bro.
You know, and you in Boston, you know, they don't like that. You mess with their women. This is Boston. We don't do that here. You colored, stay on your side.
Chill out, dog.
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
So I mean, but hey,
I mean,
the
outside
question
here,
is,
but outside. Well, let's say this though. Outside his
yeah,
incident, he is a good pickup as far as coach wise.
he takes a team to the finals in his rookie year.
Yeah,
And damn right,
I'm
it's a
saying
good pickup.
it's a good pickup coach wise. So you know,
Yeah,
outside of that, but it just shows you like they made a big deal about this incident, but then as soon as a job opened up, my man get a job. You know what I'm saying? So it was oh, I can't believe he done this and da da da. Next, he got a job. Don't go. He's like the pussy.
man, you wild, bro. You wild, bro.
What was the video where Nash was fucking right? Right. Maybe you know. Video I never saw it.
No, but but that adds to another layer of Brooklyn drama, man. It does.
So I didn't think about that. You're right. It does.
It adds another layer because I it's I don't think it's nothing. My thing is I think work relationships happen all the time.
I mean, it ain't about a relationship. It's about a man, somebody else's wife.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you fucking.
I get that point.
You can have a side chick all you want. I care nothing about that. It had nothing to do with when you coach, none of that stuff. It's when you look at it from a business perspective and
but leave mine alone.
Oh yeah, too. But look at it from a business perspective, you know, if he going, they said he did it in San Antonio too.
Mm.
So I'm saying, so it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's a pattern.
Mm.
So if you have this pattern, it's like, oh, okay, you know, how am I gonna bring this along, this guy in here, and he has this pattern of doing this.
True.
That becomes a distraction.
Yeah.
Especially you mess with the wrong one.
And look, I'm not absolving him because that's messy. It is messy.
Mm-hmm.
It is messy. But I'm saying like that shit happens.
Oh, it happens.
All
Oh
the
yeah.
time.
It happens all the time.
It happens at law firms.
Right, Matt.
It happens in hospitals. It happens in restaurants.
It happens at McDonald's. It happens
it happens at any
Mm-hmm.
occupation where there's people and you spend a lot of time together. Point blank period.
In the food service business, it happens all the time.
Boy, every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. For real. So it happens.
And you can just get married. And
Right. I don't mean
don't
nothing.
mean nothing.
I don't mean nothing. She like, what that got to do with me?
What my man got to do with me?
Happens in jail. Yeah, right, man. Happens in jail too.
It do. It do. Some of them female CEOs be tooting and booting up in the jail cell, boy.
We talking about I.O.W. Right. But I guess, like I said, it's not about really the relationship part. It's about, you know, you mess with somebody else's, especially in a higher up. That makes it worse. It's like, okay, there's certain things to me.
And you know they together.
Right. It's certain things to me, you know, like, okay, that's the vice president of operations. I ain't gonna mess with his wife. You know what I'm saying? I might mess with Kevin Durant's wife. But I ain't messing with his wife. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, sidebar. I don't even know if Kevin Durant even like girls because I think he's so focused on basketball. We
Well,
already
obviously as an example, but yeah.
he don't brush his hair. Nah, I got to get these jump shots up. He don't put on no lotion. Nah, I got to get these jump shots up. Hey Kevin
Don't drop
Durant,
the soul.
hey Kevin Durant, you want some of this kid?
You right though, Matt.
Nah,
Right.
I got to
I'm
put up
good.
these shots. I got to put these shots at it. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
But from what I heard though, he was messing with the vice president, or the president of finance's wife. That's the guy signing checks.
Now you messing with your money. Hey, that thing had to be something stupid to mess with your money, boy.
But then it's like, but it didn't. See, I guess for me, it's just me talking. I think not only that incident, but we have a pattern of this. It's like, okay, you have a pattern of messing with other people's wives.
Of being messy.
Oh, just being messy. That's the other part. They didn't make that part clear when they say he has a pattern of this. So that's why I was kind of like, okay, you got a pattern of messing with other people's wives or just being messy. So my thing is like, do you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ain't married either, do you?
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I think it's like
right. She was though.
Right. But I think like, you know, it's like NBA is like being in corporate. You know what I'm saying? You in corporate, there's certain hierarchies and stuff that you just don't mess with if you want to keep your job. But let's say that.
You
don't care nothing about
paychecks.
And you don't care nothing about your job, do what you do.
Yeah. That's wild. I didn't even think of it that way. Because now Brooklyn is bringing that in. You bringing that into your care.
Yeah.
You better touch the wires.
Right. I mean, everybody was telling you can't come to the games.
Hey. I don't even want you around the facility.
Right.
Yeah, watch from the crib. I'll buy the NBA pass for you, baby. You can watch. You can watch us from the crib. You know.
You be showing us yourself to the person in the house, the kids' house. Right. Hi, Uncle Eme.
Yeah, Uncle Eme. Yeah.
This your uncle. Me and your uncle go upstairs to play right quick.
Hey, Daddy, Uncle Eme came by.
Right. Go turn on SpongeBob. Me and Uncle Eme go upstairs right quick.
We got some family business.
Right.
To take care of.
You gotta come play with this monkey. I'll go. Let me get a monkey, mommy.
That's the mating call. You hear that, girl? You know what to do.
You know what to do.
Just drop them draws.
Drop them draws. For real.
Go ahead.
We got all day. I got a game to coach, bitch. Hurry up. Got a game to coach. Hurry up.
Hell yeah. But man, hey, now that you put it that way, man, that's a risk to bring into your camp, bro.
Right, man. It is though, man. It is. And it's gonna be interesting, man, if this becomes another distraction. Oh, fuck the Raiders.
Always fuck the Raiders.
You gotta sneak that one in, man. I mean, Ryan.
Hell yeah.
It'd be interesting to become another distraction because, you know, this gonna follow him. Because it's still fresh. It ain't happened, you know what I'm saying? Like it happened 2 years ago, 5 years ago. This is fresh.
Well, this open wound ain't even close to fully.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, her pussy still smell like him. You know what I'm saying?
Email.
That's a doka. That's a doka Bitch, I can't fuck you right now. It's just not you.
Take another shot.
Your shit's still stretched out.
Get that mattress here, please.
Right. That's a vinegar. That must swivel up. It works for opera.
No, he said if I work for Oprah.
Oh, it's Oprah. I thought it's opera. Yeah.
He said I'll be fired within an hour. I'll be trying to hit on her.
Oprah, nigga?
Bruh.
You must be trying to get the money.
bruh.
You know, trying to get the money,
Bruh. Yeah.
right? For all blue. That's the only reason I be trying to hit on that. I ain't trying to hit up for the looks.
Boy,
For
you
real.
know.
So
Shit.
you still don't cut me the check, right? Oh, okay. I said, I'm gonna need you to cut the check first.
Boy.
No check, no dick.
Boy.
For real.
Boy. Oh, boy. If Oprah make my monthly allowance right, boy.
You think Stedman still stayed?
Hey, baby.
He ain't staying because of the pussy.
Hey, baby.
He's staying because of money.
Hey, baby.
Right. I saw Stedman still there.
He's still in the pool house.
You know what I'm saying? Open fucking Gale. Stedman there for the Stedman there for the money.
I hate you, boy. I hate you, boy. Yeah, I don't understand how funny that is, boy. Oh my god.
Open like T.I. saying that song, skinny jeans, I don't do those. I would be like, Dick, I don't do those.
Oh my god. But, man, I'm telling you though.
Bussy controls.
But I'm telling you, we saw how it shook up with Delonte West and LeBron in Cleveland when he was messing with his mama.
Messing LeBron up.
I'm telling you,
LeBron ball spot got bigger.
But this is a risk, though. This is a risk
Right.
to bring him in. And I know what he brings. Obviously, we only got 1 year sample size of what he brings to a team.
Right.
But it's a good sample size. So
can we say he have a better roster on paper?
Just Kyrie and KD. That's all you need to say.
So if you can do that with the roster he had, you assume they should be able to do better what he working with.
But here's the thing: there's a lot of familiarity.
Right, and yeah, that too.
It's a lot of familiarity. Obviously, he came from Brooklyn before he got the job in Boston, so I'm pretty sure he's familiar with KD, Kyrie.
Right.
Maybe that is the missing piece because now they like, all right, we could trust him. We can buy into him because we know him. But still, it's still a gamble to take. Even though there's a lot of positives that come with it, it's coming with some baggage.
Right.
It's coming with baggage.
So let me ask you this: he comes in, he coach, they still lose. Now who's to play?
Hey, if he come in and they still lose, you got to blow it up. I'm talking about everybody but KD is up for grabs.
You got a good point too, Matt.
You got to blow it up. You know, because at one point, if you have literally exhausted everything, hi baby. So you have literally exhausted everything,
right?
And ain't working. At this point, you just got to blow it up. It just don't work. It absolutely just doesn't work. So at that point, you just gotta, hey, I'm taking offers for everybody but KD. KD the only one you can't get. Give me your offers. Got to.
Man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. They won't fire him this year, even if they lose. Yeah, they probably won't fire him, but I just want to see where the blame's gonna move to.
Oh, it's definitely. I think it's.
Okay. Then let Nash try. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. I'm just more interested in see how they shift the blame. You know what I'm saying? Because if they blame Nash and then they still lose with MA on there, are they gonna move to the GM or are they gonna start blaming players? That's what I'm interested in. And then when that happens, how they start to implode.
I think you bring up a good point. I think at that point you just have to be GM and players. Because you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. It's not if it don't work out, it just don't work out. It's okay.
For trade as soon as he steps in the
right when he hit practice for you.
But Ben, nobody wants him, man. The way he looking, who gonna take him?
Boy,
he don't have nothing. When you see the way he's playing now,
what value does he have?
what team would want him?
Just what value does he have?
Let's say what they want to tank. They want him just for tanking. Hey, you help us lose. Come on, Ben. You know what I'm saying? For real, what team would want him?
And I'm not trying to knock on him because obviously he's a good passer. You know, he's a good facilitator,
right? Or defending it.
He's a good defender. We know that. A good
you got a point, Matt. But I guess my thing to that though, Matt, is that I'm just curious to see what the media does, because the media gonna play a part in this. GM is the next. Then Irvin. Okay, it may be. I'm just interested to see how it unfolds. I don't really have an opinion on it. I just want to see how it unfolds.
Oh, because it's gonna get worse and it's gonna get better. It's definitely gonna get worse.
I hear you, Ryan, but like I said earlier, though, when you looked at Ben Simmons prior to the Atlanta series, just looked like a good deal picking up Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? No one would imagine he looked like this now. Because even with that series, you figure, okay, he had a bad series, he'll come back next year and shake that off because of what he done prior to the series. So if I'm a GM and I'm looking at we need to add a piece, especially in this Brooklyn team, I would put him because we don't need to depend on him like Philly did. You know what I'm saying? We use him. We're gonna use him a whole different way because we already got two prolific shooters, superstars on our team. He doesn't have to be that.
He's not the ball up. He's not the piece. He's a piece.
He's a piece. He can bring the ball up. He's good at penetrating. He's good at facilitating. And who best to facilitate? You got two great shooters. To KD, facilitate to Kyrie.
Oh yeah. Works out to me. It works. To me, it's more of a win-win situation.
Oh, okay, man. My bad.
You do it
I read that
wrong. So, but let's slide off because we had college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday.
Man, that was some bullshit.
So you got Tennessee at 1, Ohio State at 2.
Mm-hmm.
You got Georgia at 3,
and
then you got Clemson at 4,
and
then you had Michigan at 5, and Bama at 6. So those are the last two in the bubble, or on the first two out.
I totally disagree with this. All of it. First of all, go ahead. What you say?
No. I was about to ask you what's the first thing that came to your mind when you saw the rankings that literally blared out to you like, yo, this is crazy.
How the hell does Georgia be number 3? You know, yeah, Tennessee, they beat Alabama. Okay, we get that. That's a good win. But to me, that's the one thing I like about college football. And then people complain about them, people run up the score. You have to because of college football.
Yeah.
If Georgia's defending champion, no one should take them down until they beat them. So putting Tennessee at 2, I can see that, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But at 1 over the defending champions, how does that happen? That's dumb as hell to me. And then how you put Clemson over Michigan? Clemson plays. They didn't play nobody.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say, well, Michigan didn't play nobody yet either. But I think Penn State can beat most of the people that the Clemson played. I don't think Clemson can beat Penn State.
Fair.
You know, so I don't think they can beat Maryland. Maryland's not as bad as as their record said.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is like, okay, how you got them over Michigan? Alabama at 6, they'll move up. It's Alabama.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Ohio State ain't play nobody either. Who they play? How they get number 2?
Over
Georgia. How you put them over Georgia? They ain't play nobody. Who they play? I don't know, man. I think this is crazy to me. It's like if Bama runs the table, wins the SEC championship, they in. If Georgia beats Tennessee, the Vols run the table. All 3. Oh yeah, I don't disagree with you on that, Matt. As it stands now, I think the rankings shouldn't be. I don't think no one should be over Georgia till they beat Georgia, or until Georgia loses. One of the two happens.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Since they're the defending champion, they should at least being a defending champ should give you some privilege. That's be part of my
Yeah.
privilege right there. No one can go over me until you beat me or until I lose. Period.
The first thing that stood out to me, obviously, the conclusion you came with, I thought about that secondly, but the first one that came to me is, how the hell is Clemson even in this?
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I felt, and this is what I have a problem with this whole college football playoff committee, and when they do the rankings, is I think they get trapped in nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And just because Clemson is undefeated, they need to be up there.
Yeah, y'all right, agree with that, Matt.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why does Clemson need to be up there? Because just of nostalgia reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ask me, ever since Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence left Clemson, South Carolina, Dabo came. It looked like he forgot how to coach offense. Can't find a quarterback.
Right.
Let's not forget, this is the same quarterback that you has as a starter for the last 2 years. You pulled him.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled him. He was playing like Dookie, been playing like Dookie for majority of the season, and you pulled him. Because there's at least one or two games that Clemson was playing in that they should have lost. And Clemson does not look impressive at all. I always go to this. If you look like a national champion type team that can win it, you belong in the playoffs.
Right.
Tennessee looks like a national champion.
Mm-hmm.
Bama, you can say make the debate.
Yeah.
They look like a national champion. Georgia looks like a national champion. Michigan looks like a national champion. Ohio State looks like a national champion. But
I mean, why TCU ain't up there? TCU should be over AC over
ACC school.
Yeah,
I
where they playing, because where they playing. See, I'm looking at the way. Okay, if you look at the way Clemson playing, they had a lot of games they barely won, and barely put up points.
Yeah,
TCU at least putting up points and beating teams.
They put up crazy points.
You know what I'm saying? So they passed the eye test.
Oh, there you go. I'm glad you said that, because there's an eye test that you got to involve in this. What do you see?
Clemson struggled 2 games with Syracuse, Florida State. Why? I know. That's what I'm saying. It's in Texas.
TCU is 7, I believe.
Yeah. Are they 7?
Yeah, I think so. Let me double check.
You may be right. So they way out. I mean, they ain't too far out, because if one of those fives and 6 lose, they can probably jump them. But to me, they should be over Clemson. Period. They should be over Clemson.
I don't think Clemson should even be in the top.
They'd be in top 10.
I would. Well, because go down the line. Georgia is better than them. They look better than them. Tennessee looks better than them. Ohio State looks better than them. Michigan looks better than them. That's 4. TCU looks better than them. That's 5. Bama looks better than them. That's 6.
Right. Who else is undefeated?
Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, TCU are the only undefeated teams.
Then there. So how they not higher than Clemson? They undefeated. They look better than what Clemson look like. I don't understand. I mean, with the Ohio State being 2, they should be. You made them 3 or 4. I wouldn't argue that. You know, because they can get something off their pedigree. Yeah, Wake Forest took 2 overtimes to beat Wake Forest.
Yeah, but Wake Forest just took an L last week, and that doesn't.
No, I'm saying, but Matt was saying they took 2 overtimes to beat Wake Forest.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Wake Forest ain't too shabby this year. They ain't too
bad. But still.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we got to give a little credit to Wake Forest, because they 6-2, got been playing some good football. So I'm not gonna shit on them too hard. So, but I get what you're saying. Wake Forest, you really think of Wake Forest? You like, come on, man.
I mean, they ain't like the Wake Forest of old. They better and improve. But at the same time, if you're supposed to be in that, you putting them that high up, they should be rolling. They're not rolling over teams.
Like, in all honesty, I, I would take Clemson out. I will move Michigan up to 4, Bama up to 5, TCU up to 6, and then I will put Clemson at 7. If I was doing the rankings.
Right. Georgia has to stay number 1. It should be Georgia. You in Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU, Bama, or Bama, TCU. You can swap them too. I don't have a problem with that. Well, since Bama lost one, you got to at least be penalized for losing one. So then TCU, Bama. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. You know, but there's no way that you putting Georgia under nobody and he ain't lost. Now we'll see this Saturday because they play Tennessee this Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's a very
you got a good point, man.
That's a very interesting game on how this is going to shake out and how does it make the possibilities of 3.
Yeah, then Oregon. How many games Oregon lost? They lost 1 or 2.
They lost 1.
Okay.
I mean, and you can make a case that I think Oregon has looked more impressive than Clemson, but you still can't shake that beatdown that you got from Georgia in week 1. But I get it. It's Georgia. I get it. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Matt. But my thing is, if I'm a defending champion,
why would I be below anybody?
I should below anybody until you beat me. That should be one of the things for me being defending champion. You know, if I haven't lost and nobody beat me, I don't care what you record, who you play. You can play Bama 5 times. I don't care.
Yeah, I hear you. And
I'm number 1 until you beat me. That's how it should be.
I honestly don't disagree with what you saying and what Matt is saying because I can see the case for both sides.
Yeah, you're right. They don't, man. Not no more. They used to though.
I got no beef with Tennessee being at 1.
Used to, right?
But I just like you. I can feel the case of why they should be number 1. But you know, just the first thing that glared out to me is Clemson. I'm like, I don't know how the hell you don't look like a national champion. I'm going based off on how you look as a national champion in ranking. And you don't look like a national champion team.
Yeah, I agree.
At all. And until they get that right, then prove me wrong. But until then, stop living off of what Clemson once was with
that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, that's what college football is, though, man. That's one of my knocks against them. You know,
take Clemson for what they are right now.
Take what they are. All teams, like if Bama start to slip, they're gonna get a lot of love until they really look bad for over a consecutive amount of time. So they slip next year, they still don't get love because it's Bama because of what they done before. You know, it's gonna take several years for people to stop not talking about Bama like they used to.
Sometimes your persona precedes yourself.
That's just college football. And the fact that, you know, you got to run up the score because the people who voting you in, you know what I'm saying, they look at, they beat so-and-so 72 to nothing, or 72 to 20, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And versus like, if I got 50, I know you can't win, let me take my starters out, let them rest, because it's a long season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where Texas at.
They're 24.
They're 24? Oh, okay.
Yeah. 24. NC State's in there. They 22.
Wake Forest. That's not a bad ranking for them. Yeah.
North Carolina 17. So you got a couple of Carolina schools in the ACC doing their third this one. Now here's one. LSU is number 10.
Really? They play Bama this Saturday too, don't they?
Mm-hmm. And guess what? To me, this is going to be the true telling if Brian Kelly can hang in the SEC. When you start coaching against Kirby Smart, start coaching against Nick Saban, that's your measuring stick. You know what I'm saying? They keep getting if he gets dog walked this week,
right, man.
I was right about Brian Kelly all along that he's gonna rack up a shit ton of regular season wins like you normally do, but when it comes to postseason time, have you seen him? Have you seen him? Now I get it. He took Notre Dame to the college football playoff, but again, Notre Dame being an independent, you go undefeated, more than likely you're going to get put in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Because what? Your reputation.
Your reputation.
And so there's been a lot of fluff that I thought that's came with Brian Kelly because when he goes against big dogs, he gets stomped out.
all the way out.
Clemson stomped him out in the football playoff. Bama stomped him out in the football playoff. Like, come on, like every time you go against a big dog, you get ate up.
Yeah, you're right, Ant.
So I'm not sold on LSU at number 10 either. I won't be surprised they get a couple more losses before the season's over. They better hope they get bowl eligible. Do that.
Right.
Do that.
Start with that first.
I know you.
But even like to Matt, what Matt's saying about Alabama beating Foreman 87-0, like games like that, I should be able to say, oh, let me put in my third string running back, see what he can do. Just give him some good game experience, see what he can do.
It was
but
Foreman.
You can't do that. You can't do that because let me finish. Because you need to run that thing up. Because if you don't beat Foreman, like by a large margin, then you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're looking like Alabama struggle for him. No, we ain't struggle. We put in the lower players or rookies to see what they can do. So they might have fumbled, they might have made mistakes, but we know we can win this game. We put back in our starters, win the game, and go on back to the crib.
Yeah.
But you can't do that in college football.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta beat down teams.
Oh man. And you got to beat the dog piss out of them too.
All right, you got to. For real.
You got to beat the dog piss, especially when you are the better team. That's what that committee is looking for. Don't take it easy on these lesser teams. Beat the snot out of them.
Right.
You're supposed to have good
confidence.
Yeah, you're supposed to have good games against the top competition. And you rarely, because you see it all the time. Bama may lose a close game to a top competitor, but they barely get dropped in the rankings because that to me that does matter though.
It has some merits. I'm not knocking that. But
what you do get penalized for losing.
Right, you get penalized for losing, and I think you should have some kind of penalty.
Oh yeah, you definitely get the penalty. You got to go ahead and deal with the fact that you lost. You want the better team. I can't reward you for not winning, but I'll take in the merit in the fact that hey, it was a close game and it was top competition. I can rock with that. But
right.
Let's transition because I don't know about you, but I've been highly entertained with the Phillies and the Astros World Series.
It's a good game, some good series. It's one of those things like this, man. I was thinking about it the other day. For a sports fan, this is what you want.
Oh yeah.
But as a fan of either team, if I'm the Astros, I'm a little scared. If I'm an Astros fan, I'm a little scared.
Mm-hmm.
Because although they won yesterday, Philly don't really have nothing to lose, so no one expects them to be there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So they can just play with reckless abandonment. And it's like, hey, we got to the World Series, nobody expects us to be here. Mm-hmm. And that's a scary team to play in any sport. Versus when you already coming in as the favorite. Everybody picked Astros to win it. Outside of Texas. Everybody picked Astros to win. I mean, Astros is in Texas. Outside of Philly, I meant to say.
Yeah.
Everybody picked Texas to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. I would before the series started, I probably would agree with you, but the way Philly playing, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes 7.
Boy, y'all laughed at me when I said that.
I'm laughing at you anyway. It don't matter.
Because I said the Astros is 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if this went 7. And all y'all said, no way it's going to 7.
I didn't think so, bro. I didn't. But the way they playing, the way they playing, bro, I don't know. Now the Astros. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, series is 2-2. Tuesday night, Phillies go back crazy home run derby, and then last night get no hit combined by 4 pitchers. How do you feel about this combined no hitter? Does it have the same to you as one pitcher doing it or combined?
I'm old school. I like the old one pitcher doing it.
Okay.
That's how I am. I like the one pitcher doing it. It has the same. It doesn't have the same thing as the combined. I mean, it's still a good feat.
Mm-hmm.
It's still good. It's still good coaching because you got to do what you got to do to win the game. You know,
Yeah.
switching pitchers, bring a new pitcher in, and to disrupt the bats. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
From a coaching perspective, but from a person who watching the game, I get more respect, I guess, for lack of better words, to the one pitcher doing it.
Hey, no, I'm
The only way to go 7 is a Vegas.
yeah, I saw that. I'm probably almost on the same level of sentiments like you because I can't dismiss the fact that the whole team as a whole got no hit. I can't dismiss that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It just doesn't have that same glitz and glamour when you got a no hitter from when Roy Halladay did it, or when Don Larson did it. So it just doesn't, because to me a no hitter in the playoffs, man, that means because obviously we talk all the time how when it's playoff time, man, your game should go to another level. It gets no better than that as a pitcher. You know what I'm saying? As a one guy started from inning 1 to all the way to 9, and I dominated that lineup. Y'all couldn't touch me. You couldn't do shit with me. I had y'all looking foolish. Had you even at the palm of my hand.
Right.
I love that dominant performance because you do it in the most crucial of times, which hey, you need big time players to show up in big game situations. It gets no better than that. So, and no disrespect to the Astros of a combined no hitter, it just doesn't have the same feel. Doesn't have the same to it. Put a little in it. That ain't it. And that ain't it.
That ain't it. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a good series though.
It's a good series, man. I'm enjoying it. I watched most of it through highlights because most time the game I'm doing something, or I'm at work or something. But I will say, from a fan perspective, this is what you want. I didn't want Houston to come in and sweep them.
No, I didn't want that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, you want to see a good game, and you want to see where you end. Like we having this debate now. If the Astros win next game, it's over with, or I think it goes 7. They creating that kind of mystique about the game because of the way they play. So you have people have something to talk about.
Yeah,
if the Astros won like the first 2 or 3, it's over with.
Well, because I see it both ways. Because I see what you saying and what Matt's saying. Because I think the pressure is more going to be on Philly to get this win tonight because the last 2 games of the World Series is in Houston. So you got no more opportunities to win the chip at home. So you got to make sure that you go into on the road in Houston in a better position, in winning 1 game instead of winning 2, because they got Verlander tonight, and obviously we understand the persona that comes with Justin Verlander,
right, man. I mean, right,
and the legacy that comes with Verlander. But he didn't look untouchable the other night in Game 1. He didn't look untouchable. So in that aspect, I think it gives Philly a fighting chance tonight. And you putting Syndergaard on the bump. So I mean, I think this is a good pitchers matchup.
Yeah, I think so too.
To me, Philly's gonna have
whole days of winter ahead.
Boy, they gonna have to find their bats again because they getting no hit thing that against Verlander. If he gets off to a hot start, I think it might be trouble for them boys. They're gonna have to get to him and get to him early. They're gonna have to. But here's another thing with Philly. I know they're a good story, but you can't keep trying to jump his first 2 or 3 pitches, man. Like Verlander's up there in age, so you got to work the count tonight. You got to be patient. You know what I'm saying? I think they got to be patient. And I think Verlander is going to give them an opportunity to get some hits. They just got to be patient for it. If they over there swinging at the first two pitches, man, and the whole lineup is doing that, boy, you might as well pack your bags for Houston right now for 2 games because it's not one for 2 games. Because, boy, you gonna make it tough on you. You gonna make it tough. But I agree with you on the same part, man. They've been so scrappy, but they're not a trash team. And when you got 103 wins, 106. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. When you got 100 plus wins on the regular season, man, you're not a scrub team. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you're just running into a juggernaut. Houston just as good as Philly is. Houston is just a slight couple of notches better, and that's just the facts.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's just the facts.
I mean, like I said, man, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7. Now, if Houston wins the next 2, okay, if Houston wins the next 2, so be it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I won't be surprised on that end either.
Either way, I've been highly entertained.
Yeah, it's been a great series, man. I mean, so far, because when I saw them with 7-0, I was like, what?
Yeah.
7-0.
Well, they had a home run derby on Tuesday night, boy.
Yeah.
And let me say this real quick.
Because
Bryce Harper, when he first got into the league, he came off as an Aaron Rodgers type of me kind of selfish, pricky kind of guy. He did.
Right.
And what I saw the other day in Game 3 when he told Baum to come over because he saw that McCullers was pretty much telegraphing his pitches, and he called him over. He was like, "Hey, bro, look for this, look for that. He give you this. It's a fastball. Knock that motherfucker out the park." And he did. So you love to see that. You love the maturity that you're seeing from Bryce Harper. And man, I have my surround sound on. For that Tuesday night game when they went on that home run derby, and you just felt the energy in that building, bro. You felt the energy in that part, and so I think they're gonna feed off that tonight. I'm gonna pick Philly to win it. I'm gonna pick Philly to win it. That destroys my pick of Houston winning in 6, and I don't care. But I think Philly wins tonight because I think it's more they need to get it to go into Houston with a better chance of closing it out in 1 game instead of 2. So he said Les McCullers was playing for Philly. You wild, bro. Y'all boys is wild today, man. Every last one of y'all. Hey, all y'all jokers been off the rip today, man. I don't know what is in the I.O.W. water.
Something
today.
In the water.
Boy, it's something, boy. It's something. All right. Let's get down to some football talk. Imagine that. We go pretty much an hour and a half and ain't even saying nothing about no NFL football. How crazy is that? Tell me, all right, we'll do our teams first. Hey, how you feeling against going against Green Bay?
Man, I don't feel the same way when they go against any team. It's the hell. Is that Pop Warner? That's an L.
Yo, I can't, sir. I can't.
Man, the way they've been playing, bro. I mean, it's like they can't get a good game from both sides at one time. You get a game where they actually, because the Dallas game, they play halfway decent defense.
Hey man, I knew the answer. I just we gotta at least act like we kind of somewhat professional in this.
Somewhat, 10% at least.
Somewhat, yeah. That was my 10%.
Back to the foolishness.
Look. Besides giving an opening statement to plug everything, make sure you like, share, subscribe to I.O.W. Sports Network on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and I.O.W. Sports 1 on Twitter. Besides that, that's as professional we don't get around this thing. So, airtime.
I got the Lions beating the Packers. I don't know, man. The way that defense. Here's the thing. It's all about the way that defense been playing.
And that's why Ant is in last place.
Told you, my Kool-Aid been poured down the
I,
drain.
boy,
Took it out the refrigerator, poured it down the drain, rinsed it out with bleach. I wanted no sign, no residue of that mess.
bruh, I came out of Hard Knocks with a gallon jug of that Kool-Aid, bruh.
Right.
I, I didn't even get a quarter of the way through before I stopped drinking it, dog.
I sat on the table and just looked at it. I know how they get down. I was very skeptical. And then once they start losing, right down the drain.
Boy, I poured that shit out, bro.
Here's the thing, though.
I feel for you, dog, because the offense is doing it, and y'all been having injuries, and that's the thing that's killing me. Is y'all had injuries on offense, but you still produce points. You know, only got shut out once, and your defense is like, at any point of the season, whenever y'all decide to show up, please let us know. Just at any point of the season.
Any point. Just give me a call. Text me. Something.
Let a brother know.
Leave a message on my voicemail. Let me know y'all show up. You know what I'm saying? Something. Send an email, something. Let a nigga know.
And the crazy thing is, all you need is maybe 2 or 3 stops per game, and you might, those 6 losses could have easily been flipped. Could have easily been flipped.
Changes a whole lot. You went out the back, and now the man needs money back for this fraud of a team.
Hey, man.
You summed it all up, Matt. You summed it all up.
Y'all ain't who I thought y'all were, man. Right. I need my money back.
My money back. I was defrauded.
You sons of bitches.
Bamboozled. Hoodwinked.
Baby boy, all of it.
Dan Campbell had me hooked, boy. I was like, I see you. So he was like a pimp getting another hoe in the stable. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, daddy. Then I realized I'm just another hoe.
Oh shit.
Right, man.
Oh shit. I can't. The analogies today have been off real.
But here's the thing, though, man. Firing Aubrey Pleasant was not gonna fix it.
No. Aaron Glenn's on the hot seat, bro.
Aaron Glenn is the one in control of the defense. Why you firing a defensive back coach? What's that gonna fix? Don't solve anything.
Because I think what they're saying is the secondary is the weakest part of your defense. But I mean,
okay, what they gotta do with the run? They running through the line.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah, what they gotta do with them passing against them?
I hear
you. They're not getting no pressure.
I hear you.
So it's like, I see. It was a scapegoat. That's how I shake something up. Then they turn around and give it to T.J. Hockenson, which I kind of understand why to a degree. They ain't want to pay on their money. They want to pay because they owe them some money and they want to pay it. So I kind of see that. So I'm with that. They want to build through the draft, okay. But why you send him with draft picks?
No, why you send him in division?
I'm gonna get to that too. Send them in the division.
No, you should have started that first.
A couple more pieces on defense. Yeah, you're right, man. I don't know. I mean, both of them kind of baffled me, but I still was like, because I was reading the article. I had to go back and read it again. Because Minnesota gets T.J. Hockenson. I was like, okay, just draft it. Wait a minute, what? I go back and read it again. Minnesota. So now I'm reading like I'm in 12th grade. Minnesota. Good. Make sure I don't miss no word.
Sir. Huh? If you read like that in 12th grade, we got some other things.
Hey, I went to Detroit Public School. That's speed reading, nigga.
That's fast.
Hey, we read that fast? But for real though, so it's like I don't understand that. Why you get now? I will say this because I didn't think about this until today. If part of that is that you gave them those draft picks so they take that money, then that's not that bad then. You know what I'm saying? You say they take some of that money off his contract with him. I'm cool with that. Cause it's not like that bad. They got schools in Motown. But I don't know, man. It's just a team seems to be making some moves that's kind of like make you sad at them. It's baffling, man. It's like, why are y'all doing that? You know, not having a kicker. You had a good kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, he kicking in on who played them on Jacksonville. God, who got Austin Cyber? I can't remember who got Cyber. I can't remember, but and he making all the field goals. You get a kicker that's missing them. You keep the one that's missing, and then you have no confidence in him. You get rid of him. You go pick up another kicker. How do you go through 3 kickers in the season? Like once you hit a kicker is one of those things that you get and you keep them for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? You can't ever change kickers.
As long as your leg keep kicking, we'll keep.
Oh yeah, we keep you. You know what I'm saying? How the heck this team go through in one season? Go through 3 kickers, bro. 3 kickers, and then the highest paid player always on the trade lines is either a kicker or a punter. So they go so they keep this same tradition up, and they pay Max Fox this big old contract, the punter. I was like, what's the team doing, man? I don't understand.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead. Uh-huh.
If this continues, is Dan Campbell solely on the hot seat, or is Brad Holmes solely on the hot seat, or are both together on the hot seat?
Well, based on what Sheila said, they released not Brad Holmes. Campbell has at least another year, based on what she said. Now, to me, my opinion, Campbell probably be the first, and then Brad Holmes be the second on the hot seat, because he always got the leverage to say, hey, I gave him the players, he ain't do what he's supposed to do with the players. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always say, well, the players I got a rookies or a second year, I gotta wait to see how they wait and see they develop, give some time to develop. He has that kind of leeway. Where by the third year, you looking at the coach like, well, you got 3 years and you only got 2 wins. Then so the Lions are dreaming. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, me dreaming too, bro.
Glad you woke up,
bro. I was on Amazon trying to buy kneecaps. The way he was talking, real. Saying, listen, kneecaps must be a delicacy. Let me get some of them.
Tastes like chicken,
right? When he was talking, I was like, yeah, we'll get some kneecaps. Man, I ain't seen him bite a kneecap yet. For real.
You wow. What games you looking forward to this week? I feel we got some weird matchups. Because when I was going through my NFL picks, I'm like, we got some weird matchups. I don't know where to go on some of these.
I don't know, man. You know what? The Rams and Tampa Bay. Because this would be a measure stick to see how bad both teams are.
Both of them need to win, man.
Both of them need to win bad. Both of them are not playing that great to their potential or what they'd be expected of them. So if the Rams beat them bad, it really shows you how bad Tampa Bay is, and vice versa. But if it's a close game, then you kind of see, well, they both did evenly matched bad teams.
Yeah.
You know, I think for some reason though, I still have more confidence that the Rams will turn around than Tampa Bay will. I think Tom's has got too much stuff he's dealing with, bro, and they got too many problems on the offensive line and injuries. So I just think they got too many holes in Tampa Bay versus what the Rams got.
All right, so I'm in my head. I'm imagining headlines for Monday. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers plummeting. He should have retired. And then I can see Hollywood's story has no Hollywood ending with the Rams. You know, that Super Bowl punch drunk.
Right. I can see that.
But at the same time, I think Tom has more to lose because to a point, I think he cares about his reputation. Obviously, he understands that he's not playing well and the team's not doing well. But man, neither one of these offensive lines are good.
No, you're right. Neither one is.
And,
Matthew Stafford can move better in that pocket than Tom
oh
Brady.
yeah, oh yeah, oh
So
without a doubt.
he kind of overcomes it a little better than Tom Brady does. But both of them have problems on offensive line. Both
Not
of
to
them
men-
do.
and not to mention, I would say Stafford has a better arm. I think that's
Yeah.
evident. That's
Hmm.
pretty obvious. But Tampa Bay is dealing with a lot of injuries, and the only thing that that has me leaning toward Tampa Bay is because I'm looking at just the story part of it. Like they're not in a prime time slot, but there's the only game on that's on the same time with them is Seahawks and Cardinals. So this Ram Buccaneers is going to be a national televised game, and boy, Tom Brady, come on, I can see the story written for him already. He gonna come in and he gonna lead the Buccaneers over a must-win situation. You
What
wild,
up,
man.
Kofi?
Kofe, what up?
Man,
But
yeah, I agree with you.
yeah, so it's like sometimes you gotta add that storybook element into these NFL games because they want to see what's going to sell the headlines. They don't want to
Hmm.
keep seeing Brady in a losing situation. They just gonna compile everything. He loves a story. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay mess around and make a deep playoff run because they're gonna get
Yeah,
healthy at some point. Yeah, you just come on. As long as Tom Brady's in the league,
I don't see
he,
it, bro.
he's the golden boy. The
Yeah, I hear
NFL,
you. I hear you. I hear you. But
NFL
I
gonna make sure that Tom Brady go out the way he wants to go out. Trust.
gonna go on his back. That's how you gonna go out.
Get blasted, boy.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
Makes
Tom
him
Brady,
off
the
the
headline's
line.
gonna read Tom Brady, 46, winless and bitchless. That's the headline's gonna read. For
Damn,
real.
bro. Not only is he losing, you lost your female.
Alright. Yeah, they still playing on Thanksgiving, bro. For real. He ain't
Oh
lost the game and yo bitch.
my!
Nigga, you sorry.
You scrub.
Alright. You ain't hitting on shit.
That's a good matchup. I like that for sure. Other than that, I don't. I mean,
I'm kind of curious. I know I'm kind of curious to see how Seattle and the Cardinals match up.
yeah, I was going to go there, but I can't dismiss the Titans and Chiefs only because the Chiefs got to show that. I mean, like always, you got to show that you can slow down that big hog that's back there in that backfield in Tennessee named Derek
That's
Hill,
true.
Deuce
That's true. That's
Deuce.
true.
You know what I'm saying? That's a handful now. All right. So the thing with him or the Titans in general, I mean, I'm looking at them at 5-2, and I'm like, boy, they are the ugliest 5-2 I've ever seen.
Mm. Yeah, you're right.
They just don't look like a 5-2 team. Their defense is inconsistent. When they're on, they're on, and that pass rush is good. That front four gets after it. But when
Hmm.
they're off, man, you like, bro, who are y'all? Who are y'all? I didn't already gave up on the Raiders. I mean, even if they beat the Jaguars, it's just nothing impressive. The Jaguars, they sold us some fool's gold too. Um,
I'm watching. Yeah, you gotta watch the game while you eating ham, bro. Hey,
hey,
but the Cowboys and the Giants play too, don't they? Thanksgiving, that's gonna be a good game. So
man,
that's a good game. So just depend on that. That's what I usually do. Cause Lions playing Buffalo, that's gonna be a blowout.
yeah, yeah. Y'all gonna get your teeth kicked there.
Yeah,
Josh Allen gets that defense the way
they
they
need to.
play.
Lions need to go ahead and rest their starters. So they won't get hurt in that game.
Hey man, do y'all do a running clock in the NFL? Man, y'all
Right. Let's just keep it running.
keep it running.
Get this
We'll,
going over with.
we'll be stopping this one. Don't stop the clock. No, don't stop the clock.
For real. We don't need halftime. Just keep it going. Get this over with.
Just one more topic before we
Go
get to
ahead.
this Philly and Houston game tonight. So that draft class, Trevor Lawrence still struggling. Um,
Is he though? Is he?
bro, he's throwing interceptions. Bro, he cost him that game against Denver, bro.
He did. But I still see a trajectory of moving up. I still see him better than last year.
Yeah, but I'm seeing ball security issues, bro.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm not denying that, but I think he looks better than he did last year. He's taking control of the offense and stuff like that. He still has some things he needs to work on.
And ball security better be it.
Yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
he
No,
he,
definitely.
he lucky Gardner Minshew ain't there no more. Cause I'm telling you, if Doug Peterson had been like, yo, bro, you costing me games. Hey Gardner, get in there. Mustache Mania come acting a fool again.
Yeah,
Come on. He did it with Nick Foles.
he
Let's not
did.
act like Doug Peterson won't pull the trigger on it.
You're right.
So, you know, he's struggling. But one quarterback of that class that I think ain't getting enough credit is Justin Fields. And I was down on Justin Fields coming out. I didn't know if he was going to have the arm talent to do it. And boy, he hasn't even proven me wrong. It's just, all right, so the Bears, you go get Chase Claypool at the trade deadline on Tuesday.
Hmm.
That's a nice little piece. I don't think it automatically makes you a contender now.
Oh no.
You're still 3-5. And look, if y'all believe y'all can make a run, then y'all keep believing. But the offensive line is still trash. He's still running for his life, and you already got for the future, and you traded away your best defensive player, Roquan Smith. So that defense is not going to look the same
At all.
at all.
At
So
all.
at all. But I think Justin Fields is not getting enough respect that came out of that class. Obviously, we can't grade Trey Lance. He ain't played enough, and
Right.
he's hurt.
Yeah.
Can't really grade him yet. Mac Jones,
Matt
mm.
Jones like he need to retire. Give it up. I mean, I was on the record saying I think he'd be better than what people are saying, but now I'm gonna take that back. Take that back, bro. He look horrible, man. He look like he digressed.
Well, it's not necessarily his fault. Look what he got as offensive coordinator. His offensive coaches ain't the brightest now.
Yeah, you're right. Still, nah, I mean, I goes. I hate to say it. Let me say this first. Fuck Nick, but like Nick said, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna look without Josh McDaniels?
Yeah,
And we seeing it.
yeah.
We seeing it, man. He don't look that great. They need to go ahead and bring Josh on back home because he ain't doing shit with the Raiders anyway. So,
and the other quarterback in this class that has a talent, but he needs to humble himself and get back to the basics. Is Zach Wilson? I don't, bro. You throwing interceptions off your back foot, 3 of them.
yeah, yeah, I didn't look good at all.
Well, what are you doing? Since he's came back from injury, he hasn't looked good at all. It looked like he's trying to make the big play every time, instead of just taking what the defense gives him.
Hmm.
He's trying to be he in his mind. I think he plays like he's in that same echelon like a Josh Allen and a Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm. Well, I think too that what he needs to look at is that you don't have to throw it away. You know, you got good enough defense to keep in the game to get you the ball back. That's how you gotta look at it from a
Damn good
quarterback.
defense.
Yeah, so from quarterback perspective, if you don't have to play there, just keep it moving.
Mm,
You can't try to make a play on every down if you don't have it to keep it moving.
yeah.
I'm saying take what the defense gave you and keep it moving. Even if you get them down, even if you get your team in field goal range, you get 3 points. You have capable of defense to get you the ball back and come back the next time and score.
Yeah.
Score. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta look at it. You can't try to make a play every down because what's gonna do is that when teams realize what you're gonna do, they're gonna
Yeah.
show you something to make you force the ball in and pick you off.
hmm
That's it.
Every time. And real quick, it's just right now, but his mindset has to change because right now he is an anchor on a good team.
Hmm.
And I don't. That may be too harsh to put it, but that's just how I'm looking at it when I'm an outsider looking in on the Jets. He looks like an anchor to a good team because I think that's a
Right.
damn good team. And
Hmm.
Robert Sala got him in the right direction. Real quick before we get out there, Houston, Philly. I mean, you know, this is our professional part. We got to talk about it real quick. So,
All right, go ahead.
yeah, Philly. Come on.
Philly. All right, y'all.
Philly's just damn good. And Houston, yeah, Houston.
Houston is shit and Philly is good. Let's go.
That's our show. I'm the wild card Mar. That's Detroit man, the man with the grandmaster plan. Please make sure follow us, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel at I.O.W Sports Network. That's the same address for our Instagram and our Facebook pages, and you can catch us on Twitter, I.O.W Sports 1.
We'll mix that every now and then, man. You know, professional, go back.
Yeah.
You go back and forth.
Yeah. You got to know when to be professional and when to be ignorant. So
that's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But anyway, hey, y'all know the deal. Y'all come back, come chop it up with us again on Monday for episode 193, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, peace and love, y'all.
Look here, baby. You're hitting them corners too goddamn fast. You need to slow this